Welcome. Welcome to the 5th episode of Introduction to Ruby. Before I get started with this episode's actual topic, which is variables, I'd like to thank all of you who've watched my previous videos for doing so. I've just won the most popular video award on showmedia.com for October 07, and it was actually episode 1, What is Ruby, that won that award. Now, again, I'd like to thank all of you who contributed to that success by watching the video. Okay, now on to this episode's topic, variables. And I'm not going to actually give you a definition of what a variable is right now. Instead, I'm going to present you with a problem, and from that problem onwards, we're going to work ourselves towards the definition of a variable. Okay. Okay, right now we have a problem. Now, as you can see here in the slide, I've got a line of code, and we've got an object here, which I've colored in red. It's a string object, and it represents the string hello, comma, space, world. And I'm calling a method, colored in green here, on that object, and what the method does is to reverse the string. Now, our problem is, how do we refer to the hello world string object so that we can use it again in our program? Okay, this might be what a solution could look like. Again, here we've got hello world dot reverse in line 1 here, and in line 2, and we're actually doing something. Doesn't matter what, could be nothing, could be just doing something else. And then in the next line, we're actually calling upcase, which will convert a string to uppercase on a hello world object. And this might be the solution for our problem. Well, it turns out that it isn't the solution for our problem. And that's mainly because the hello world in line number 1 and the hello world in line number 2 are different objects. And let me just jump right into IRB here just to prove that. Okay, let's move to IRB. As you can see, I've already started it up here. And I'm just going to type hello world.reverse, and as you can see, it's reversed the string. Now I'm just going to do something. I'm just going to do a simple calculation here. Maybe another one. Okay. And now I'm going to call hello world.upcase. Now, as you can see, it didn't do what one might have expected. Instead, it just turned this string hello world into uppercase letters only. It didn't do it with this string. So what we can see is that this string up here cannot be the same string as here, because if it were, this text here would have been converted to uppercase letters. And we can actually call a method on an object in Ruby. This works with any object, and it's called object ID. And what it will do is, it will give you the object you're calling it on. It will give you the object of ID of that object. And in Ruby, every object has a unique object ID that identifies it. So let's just find out what this hello world object, string object's object ID is. And as you can see, it's displayed right here, and if I call this again, what we would expect is a different object ID, and it indeed is. It's not the same object ID, and I can call this as often as I like, and the object ID will always be different, because each time we use this hello world thing here, we're creating a new string object that represents hello world. And all of those hello world objects I've got here actually have only a couple of things in common. They're all of instances of class string. They're all of type string, and they all happen to represent the same text, which is hello world. Okay, let's move back to our presentation. So what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to give objects names so we can refer to them in our program, and you can actually do that. And as you can see here, we've got a hello world string object, and we've given it two names, myText and aText, and objects can thus have multiple names. And in Ruby you actually do give objects names, so this is how it works in Ruby. So you might be asking yourself, what's all this objects for names business got to do with variables? And after all, variables are the main thing I'd like to talk about in this screencast. Well, variables are names for objects, at least in Ruby. In other languages, variables might be a little different, but in Ruby they definitely are names for objects. And please don't confuse variables with objects. Variables are not objects of any sort. Variables are references to objects, really just names for objects. You can think of a variable in Ruby as a name tag you can attach to an object. So please keep this in mind. This is a really, really important concept. A variable is not an object, it's merely a reference to an actual object. Okay, I think that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you have any feedback or questions, please do leave a comment on the video page for this video. And if you like this video, I really appreciate some encouraging words in the form of a comment and or a vote. Thanks for watching.